today's Rivals video, I'm going to show you guys how to get the absolute best settings for Rivals. So let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. We have a lot to cover in today's video, and I'm even going to show you guys how to make your game still look good even with the lowest possible graphics like I have right here. But before that, I do want to say, if you guys are new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's get straight into this. All right, so let us begin with the first settings, okay? So the first settings you're going to want to enable are these right here. Disable shadows, disable textures, and disable wraps in duels. Trust me, when you disable these, it's going to give you such a big boost in FPS. So now that we have all of these enabled, let's go ahead and talk about these next settings that I would disable and enable. These down here, okay, the toggle aim, toggle crouch, and toggle sprint, I would go ahead and disable these unless you want to have them on. I will go ahead and quickly explain what these do. Basically, what toggle means is if you were to press your button, let's say if we had crouch for an example, if I were to press crouch, I would literally be crouched the entire time unless I press the same button again. Then it would make me go uncrouch. So I would quickly disable all of these. If I were you, I personally like to be more in control. So toggle aim, if you hold down your aim down sight button. The next things I would also turn on and off, I would turn on auto sprint, because auto sprint is always going to be good for controller wise. I mean, I am a controller player at the end of the day, so that's why I have that on. Easy slide, always have this turned on as well. Easy slide allows you to slide with your crouch button. So let's say if you had crouch all the way on control, and that's what you want to use for your slide, you can go ahead and just press control to slide and also to crouch at the same time. So it's actually really useful. Next is scroll equip, which basically lets you scroll through your weapons on mouse and keyboard. That's usually what I like to use on mouse and keyboard. I know some people say that they like to use the numbers instead. I think that's cool too. If you guys want to use that instead, you also can. I also have auto shoot off, auto jump off, and a double tap to shoot off as well. I just don't like any of these options here at all. I personally really like being more in control of my movement and when I get to shoot my weapon. So that's why I have all these off. And double tap to shoot, I mean, I don't even know why I would have that on ever, to be honest. So this right here is a setting that I feel like a lot of people are gonna want me to go over, which is the aim assist strength. Okay, aim assist strength, listen, this is important. So if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, this doesn't apply to you, but if you're on mobile and console, or you just play with controller on PC, I would highly suggest turning this all the way up to 1, because when I tell you it gives you aimbot, I don't mean that like, I don't mean to say that as in like every other YouTuber, like just trying to get clicks and stuff. Like honestly, guys, it really does give you aimbot. Like this right here is me on mouse and keyboard. As you can see, there is absolutely no aim assist going on whatsoever. No aimbot. I have to literally actually aim with my mouse, you know. But if I switch over to my controller for a second, now I'm on my controller, as you can see, a lot slower movements here. But as soon as I ADS, look at this, it literally locks on, dude. Look at that. If I just aim right here, boom, look at this, boom, every time. As you can see, I'm like moving this stick on my controller away and it's still locking onto him. Like it just doesn't matter, bro. So I highly suggest turning up your aim assist, and it works so well to the point that like I don't even, like, you guys see that guy all the way over there, that purple guy right there? Look at this, bro. It literally gives me aim assist on him. See this? Like, look at this tracking. Like, this is insane, dude. Like, oh my goodness. And if you guys are wondering how far away that guy actually is, if I go all the way over here, you can see 175 studs away, and I was able to track him all the way up here, man. So you can imagine how OP this would be in a battle. If I go all the way back here too, I bet it would probably still track back here. Like, look at this, bro. Like, yeah, look, it's still tracking back here. Wait, what? Yeah, like, okay, I feel like if you don't have this turned up all the way, you're kind of trolling, especially if you're playing on controller and mobile. All right, you got to have that turned up all the way. It's just going to give you such an advantage that I just don't see why you wouldn't want to use controller. Next up we have is camera sensitivity. I'm not going to go over the dead zone and camera sensitivity too much, because these are things that you need to figure out for yourself. And if you guys want me to make a video on how to figure out the best settings for yourself in terms of sensitivity and stuff, let me know down in the comments and I will go ahead and make that video. But let's go over to the camera zoom effects and camera FOV, because I feel like this is so important and I just need to go go over it. So what camera FOV does, it is allows you to see more of your screen around you. So if I were to stand right here and, you know, just kind of stay right here, okay? As you guys can see, I can see the like the game board here and the win streaks board, and I can see in front of me, which is the duels. If I were to go in here and I were to lower my FOV all the way down to 30, which is literally like the lowest it could possibly go, all I can see now is literally just the duels ahead of me, like this lobby section right here. I can't even see the sign anymore. I can't even see the boards. And I'm pretty sure default FOV is 80, and you can see how much less of a thing I can see when I pump this thing up to 120. Look how much more you can see. Obviously, it's going to give you a lot more visibility when you have it maxed out, so always max out your FOV, not just in Rivals, but in any shooter game that you like to play. Next up, we have is the zoom effects, and this is literally works the exact same way as camera field of view, except if I were to go ahead and reset this and I go into the shooting range for a second, and let's just equip a random loadout, as soon as I go ahead and aim down sight, you can see my gun is really close to my camera, and that's literally what it's doing, okay? It's literally moving your gun closer to your camera. So what I suggest doing is kind of bumping this down all the way from anywhere from 0.25 all the way to 0.5. That's what I personally like to keep it at, so I like to keep mine at 0.25. If you guys want to go ahead and do that, you guys can. And just to quickly show you that's exactly what it did, I'll go ahead and equip the same loadout, and boom, as you can see, there we have it. All right, next, what I recommend turning off is your camera field of view effects and camera shake. I don't honestly think you guys need these on. Camera shake is always terrible. I hate camera shake. I want to have my camera as still as humanly as possible. And same with FOV effects. It's going to be a bit distracting when you're in a really intense duel to have effects going on whenever your field of view changes. So I suggest turning this off as well. Next, we're going to go over is the signaling, the weapon inking, hide tasks, and all this other stuff down here, because all the rest of these aren't really that important. I don't think a lot of people are going to care about inverted Y and X axis stuff. We're going to go over is the signals. All right, make sure you guys have these signals turned on. I can't stress enough how important it is to go ahead and communicate to your teammates how low someone is, and especially if you hit someone with a lot of damage, you can go ahead and ping where they are, and your teammates will be able to receive that information right then and there without having to say a word. This is honestly one of the most important forms of communications in modern first-person shooter games that I feel like is always overlooked. So make sure you have signals turned on, and make sure you have it binded to a button that you're going to be able to press. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the hiding task in duel. I recommend having this setting turned on because it can get so distracting to have your task on the left-hand side when you're in the middle of a duel. Like I said, you want as much visibility as possible. So having something on your screen that really doesn't need to be there in the middle of a 1v1 or in the middle of a clutch moment, come on now, you don't need that. Turn it off, have it off, and you will be able to still see it in the beginning of the round. All right, so before the round even starts, you'll be able to see your task, so you'll be able to know what exactly you need to get done before the game even starts. And that's what I suggest having. You know, just turn that on. It's not really worth having that off. Next is hiding teammate icons. Always have this on, man. It's important to know where your teammates are and what the health of your teammates and stuff. Like, I think that's so important, so always have this one turned off. The damage numbers, I always suggest having this turned on as well. It's always good to have information on how much damage you're doing to players. And it's especially good if you're playing with your friends in a VC, and you can go ahead and communicate how much damage you've done to players. Now I'll show you guys what my crosshair is. I literally just have a dot crosshair. That's all I really like. This right here is my settings. I'll scroll through it. Feel free to pause the video and try to copy my settings one-to-one if you really want to, but I think you guys will be able to find a better crosshair in some other creators as well, because I by no means am a really amazing player at this game. I feel like I am pretty average, and I'm okay with average because I'd rather just be focused on making videos, bro. Oh, crap. And look, there's a Michael Myers in here, guys. Hey, I actually just made a Michael Myers video on my other channel. So now that we got all the in-game settings out the way, I'm going to show you guys a secret thing that I don't think a lot of YouTubers went over for settings. Now, this is something that only PC players can do, so I'm sorry to all my console people and mobile people, but this is mostly just for PC. The next thing you're going to want to do is head over to this website right here, which is called Blockstrap. I will leave a link in the description down below, as well as in the pinned comment, so you guys can go ahead and click on this link and get easy access to it. Trust me, you're gonna want it. So when you head over to the Blockstrap website, you're gonna want to just click this button right here, and you're gonna just want to click download, okay? And then when you get to this page, you're just want to go ahead and click download Blockstrap. It's going to give you an ad. You're just going to want to click out of it, okay? And then you're going to want to save it. As soon as you save it, go ahead and run the .exe file. It's going to go ahead and install. And when it's done installing, you're going to want to search up in your taskbar, Blockstrap menu. Open up the Blockstrap menu. For me, it's going to say Blockstrap is already running. And if you have Roblox running, make sure you also turn it off, or close it down. Then you're going to want to go over here, and you can see there is a lot, and I mean a lot of options. But we're not going to mess with any of these integration stuff right now, but you can look at an extensive video on Blockstrap if you would like to. I'm going to go ahead and head over to the fast flags section, okay? Head over to the fast flags section and go over to the anti-aliasing quality and turn that all the way up to max. Make sure you put that at 4 times. Disable player shadows, turn that on. Disable post-processing effects, turn that on. And disable terrain textures and turn that on. And yeah, I mean, this right here is just going to give you what you want and what you need out of this, all right? But after you're done with that, you can head back into Roblox, load it back up, join a new game, because you can't be in a session when you have Blockstrap menu on. But then as soon as you join into a section, you're going to notice that maybe your screen is going to be like this. It's not full screen anymore. It's literally just like, it's like a window. And what most of you might do is go to the settings and turn on full screen in here, or you might hit F11, but don't do that. What you want to do is hit Alt and Enter on your keyboard. And what Alt and Enter on your keyboard does is give you true full screen. So if I go ahead and hit settings in here, you guys can see if I go down here, it still says full screen is off and on, and I can spam this and I'm still in full screen. And this is going to help you out and give you a big boost in FPS. But now when you have all those settings turned on as well that I showed you earlier, you can turn down your graphics settings all the way, and you can see your game goes from looking regular like this at max quality all the way to still looking just as good at the lowest possible graphic settings. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you all did enjoy, and if you guys want to see some more Rivals content, let me know down in the comments. But anyways, I will talk to all you beautiful, beautiful people on the next one. It's been wild. Peace.